Some of you have probably been wondering, what is Scott up to? Or maybe most of you haven't wondered at all and don't care what Scott's been up to. We're going to do a video about it. There was an old 1958 Model 12 Mixmaster, Sunbeam Mixmaster mixer in the basement. Completely locked up, would not turn. So I've completely disassembled it other than getting the field coil out. I'm going to strip, paint, polish, relubricate, put everything back together, and that's going to be the mixer for the cottage here, since that was probably Marietta's mixer.
Yep. Oh, and it had its original bowls with it too, which you don't usually see.
It has both bowls.
Oh.
And these have two different beaters. You know, there's the small beaters for the small bowl, big beaters for the big bowl. I think they need to make a trip down to Columbia and go in the dishwasher.
Okay.
Let's move along.
All right, let me, hang on. You guys, I got to put slippers on. I hate shoes, so as soon as I come in, I've got... Scott always tells me, leave your shoes on, we won't have to wait.
The weather has turned cool, and I used to hate wearing hats, but now that I don't have any hair much, I have 3 or 4 left. I think that a hat's a wonderful thing. I hate getting that wind in my ears and getting my head cold.
And he lost his little hat from last year. So the cats are confused.
Cats. So, out here on the porch. Da-da-da.
Oh, it's cold.
I moved the electric light to here. Previously, it was directly above the door.
It was like right there, and every time we open that door, we'd be covered in mosquitoes and moths and all that kind of
Well, my
stuff.
sister plans on enclosing this porch, so I went ahead and put insulating panels up here, and then I'll put plywood up here and paint that. And that'll pretty much match the rest of the decor on this porch.
All right.
Watch your step.
Yeah, the door, when they did the woodwork around the thing, they didn't check this door, so it always has just a little bit. I'm coming.
It's been raining, so that door is swollen.
Swollen. And our non-skid treatment on the steps has really worked well, hasn't it?
It's holding up well. And in previous videos, you've probably seen I rebuilt these steps and added guard handrails on them, made them safer.
Ooh.
Closed under here and built the door.
Yep, they've seen that.
You've all seen that, I'm sure.
You can see where we cleared the power line here, except for this magnolia tree, and we didn't have the truck with us last weekend, and we didn't want to bring the pole saw back in Scott's pretty car.
Yeah.
So if we just cut off the lower limbs up a ways, we'll get it. And we still have stuff to go to the dump or whatever. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Oh, I got a sweater on, but...
I've always wondered why there's a big crack on each end of this. These are concrete blocks on each end. The middle was actually just rubble infilled with a cement top coat on it. So
it collapsed in.
Yeah, I stepped on it, it collapsed underfoot one day. So I need to bring my sledgehammer up here, demolish this, and build a new set of steps. And I'll use the rubble from this as a, pound it down into the ground as a rubble stone foundation to get a good start.
All right. Ooh, the wind is bitter.
Oh, look.
The kittens are... I'll be back, buddy. Ooh. The grass is just damp enough to be slightly slippery. The cats think that planter I pulled out of the trash is just for them. They can jump in it and peek out and chase each other around it. And it's the best cat toy ever that I got out of the trash pile. We'll walk down here and see what Scott's been doing in the garage. Now this is a saw we went up to North Carolina in the middle of the night to get in a snowstorm.
I bought this out of Craigslist for $80. These Craftsman saws are extremely common, so I don't want to put a whole lot of money into it. I built this mobile base. He's there. Now it's sitting on the ground. Now it's mobile. All of this was built out of scrap material other than the hardware and the rollers. I've stripped the saw down, stripped the base down, repainted everything, de-rusted, de-greased everything. I've got the arbor trued up on it so that the blade runs true. Got everything in alignment. The motor on it was just about falling apart, so I found a motor on another machine here. It's kind of underpowered, it's 3/4 horse, but I put new bearings in it, put a new starter cap in it. It runs fine. It'll be fine for what little minor task I want to do with this machine. I'm going to rebuild and modify the fence. You can spend a ton of money on this stuff. It's easy to get your checkbook out or your credit card out and buy a nice fence assembly, but even after you do all this work, this saw is never going to be worth more than about $200. So I don't want to put $400 in a $200 saw. So I'll modify the original fence. I've cleaned up, going to modify the miter gauge for this. I have one cast iron wing for it, and I have the extension rods for the old extension assembly. I'm going to build a extension wing on this side that sits on top of the extension rods. And on the subject of the saw, the iron extension wing is in this electrolysis bath, which will de-rust it. I have the negative side of the power supply connected to the part, the positive side to a sacrificial anode, and it's the reverse of electroplating, so it will use electrons to boil the rust off. And you can already, this has only been in here 20 minutes, and you can see all the rust starting to boil up. It's a really good way for a lazy person to de-rust stuff, because I don't like sanding things.
I'm wondering if we should try to figure out a way to cover it.
I don't know.
Because the kittens get in here.
It would taste horrible, I'm sure. It has Arm & Hammer super washing soda. So this is all pretty environmentally friendly. I know it looks horrible, but basically there's soap and iron oxide in that water. So you can just dump it down the drain when you're done.
Yeah, I'm just thinking how kittens play.
Yeah.
And run around and jump and stuff.
Directly underfoot, this section of the concrete is heaved, and it's actually sloped towards the garage. So every time we get a heavy rain, water would run into this garage. We had these thin pavers left over from my mother's
Den
project. And like that one's curved, it wasn't suitable for use in that den. But for what I'm doing, it's perfectly fine. I have 2 layers of it across here where the cracked heat part of the concrete is, and then a single layer across there. And that's enough of a barrier to keep that water out. We had a really heavy rain over this weekend, and the garage is nice and dry.
Because the driveway, it comes down the hill.
Yep.
And right into the garage.
So one more task on that. I might take the remainder of these bricks and set them in, put a little barrier along in here just to kind of slow that water down.
And he finally got all the lights installed.
Yep.
So it's lots of light in here now.
Oh, and my trash pick lawnmower.
Oh yeah.
I'm
You haven't shared with everybody in a
I
while.
can't get the trash pick lawnmower out. This was sitting on the side of the road up the street from our house in Casey with a free sign on it. It was missing a spark plug, missing an air cleaner. I stuck a spark plug in it and started it up, and it started right up, but it ran terrible. It had water in the gas, and the carburetor had a bunch of dirt and crud in it. So I fixed that, bought the correct spark plug, bought air filter, changed the oil. I don't know if it's got any gas in it or not. It's electric starter.
Doesn't sound like you got any
I don't
juice.
think I got any gas in it, but
Yeah.
it's a front driver and it would slip. So I screwed these self-tapping screws in here. I was like, I got studded snows on the front or something. but this machine runs good. No gas.
No gas.
No gas. But for free, if it's for free, I'll take it.
Yep. We could actually leave that here for Adele to use when we move.
You know, electric start, self-propel, that was an expensive mower with it. Whoever bought it, it's only a few years old.
Yeah. And we bought the yellow one.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it because it's lightweight and I can maneuver it well.
And it's ball bearing wheels on it. It rolls real easy. It's not hard to put.
It doesn't tire me out like the mower we have at the other house that was also a trash pick. We have two other mowers at the other house
They're trash pick
that are
mowers?
trash pick mowers, and we've got Aunt Marietta's old riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
So we've got mowers out the wazoo,
Yeah.
I reckon you could say.
When I get a collection of too many of them, I start handing them off to relatives and people that need them.
Yep. Does that catch everybody up on what you've been doing?
I think so. I've got my bitch grinder mounted.
I'm glad we're back inside.
Yeah, I got this mounted on the crazy base. This base was something my grandfather put together for something, who knows. And Jesse had repurposed it for this grinder. So I decided I would change the mount, make it a little sturdier. Very nice 6-inch Craftsman grinder from the 60s. Back when you could buy stuff from Sears and it was really good.
Yeah.
But these were really well made. I'll reserve comment on the current products.
Yeah.
You can draw your own conclusions.
Yeah. We all know the story of the trouble we had with the last tool we tried to take back.
Yes.
Okay, guys, that catches you up on the Scott report. I hope you enjoyed catching up with him and what he's been doing. I just cooked up a whole package of salt pork, and he enjoyed that, didn't you?
Oh, that was good. A little fat back on a piece of bread.
It was very salty, though.
Tasty.
The main reason I cooked up a whole package, I used half of it in some collard greens. I'm cooking up collard greens, and we got barbecued pork I did the other day in the slow cooker, and I don't know what else we need.
Ooh, I forgot about barbecue pork.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good supper tonight. Need to do some black-eyed peas, I reckon.
Oh, that
No cornbread though.
black-eyed peas or fry some okra.
I've got okra, I think. We'll look and
Want me to
see.
fry it?
Yeah, you could be a fry daddy. That'd be awesome, because
I am a fry daddy.
I would like to lay down and be lazy for just a little while.
You'd like to lay down and be floppy Becky.
Yeah, this stuff is breaking loose in my chest, but there's two cats waiting for me to hold me down.
So, that's what Scott's been up to.
That's the Scott report. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
That's the way it is.